This presentation is about the 3CNF satisfiability problem. So what are we going to cover in this presentation is we are going to just explain what is circuit satisfiability. Then moving on to the satisfiability problem. In particular, we are going to see about the 3CNF satisfiability and how we are going to reduce this 3CNF satisfiability by having a look into the click problem. So this is the agenda for this presentation. So moving on, first, what is circuit satisfiability? So given any circuit which is made up of three basic circuits, that is NOT gate and then the OR gate and AND gate. So we are going to check that the output is always 1. So when I get an output of 1, then it means that it is satisfied. So circuit sat is nothing but circuit satisfiability. It is a problem to determine if there is an assignment of zeros and ones to the circuits, and the circuits are predominantly made up of only the basic gates which are AND, OR and NOT, and the output should be always 1. So this is what is called as a circuit satisfiability problem. And this problem we are going to call it as an NP complete problem. So just to recall what is an NP complete problem, you will not be knowing whether it can be solved in a polynomial time, that is it can be a non-deterministic polynomial solution, or it can be verified, but definitely it can be verified in a polynomial time complexity. So that is why it is called as an NP complete problem. So from the circuit satisfiability, we'll move on to what is called as how we are going to say that it is NP complete. So that is our next slide all about. So given, say for example, you have just two inputs and the output is just an OR gate. So as we have seen, it can only be OR gate, AND gate and NOT gate. So you have this. So you'll get an F is equal to 1 when if three conditions are satisfied. If the inputs are either of the inputs or both the inputs are 1. So in that case, you'll get the satisfiability as 1. So F is equal to 1 for all except A and B, both are zeros. So how many possible combinations are there? The answer is 2 factorial, which is 2 combinations. Okay. Now coming to n is equal to 4. Say suppose I have constructed a circuit diagram with the help of this expression. So here you have A or B or C. So how many variables have I used here? So it's A, B, C and D, 4 variables. And of course the negation of A, B, C and D can also be considered. Now taking this as 4 different variables, now how many different combinations should I try? The answer, so similar to our sum of subsets problem and so on, right? So we'll start with A is equal to 0 or A is equal to 1. Then you'll come to B. Then for B again you check B is 0 or 1. So all the combinations, like you have 1 here. So for 2 inputs, the combination is 2 to the power of 2, that is 4 different outputs you get. And among the 4 outputs, you'll check which are the outputs that are satisfiable. So in this case, in the left hand side table, out of the 4 inputs, 2 part 2 combinations, the outputs that are satisfiable are 3 combinations. Okay, coming to this expression, now you said B is equal to 0 or 1, then C is equal to 0 or 1 and D is equal to 0 or 1. So like this, if you set all the different possible combinations, right, coming to here, B is 1, so C combination 0 or 1, then D can be 0 or 1. So similarly, if you try all this, and what you have to do, you have to check this combination. So assign A is equal to 0, B equal to 0, C equal to 0 and D equal to 0 in this expression, right? So if you assign all these values as A 0, B 0, C 0 and D 0, you will get the output F as 0. And similarly, if you assign 0, 0, 0 and D is equal to 1, you will get the output as 1. So what are the combinations that are satisfiable here? It is only the green ones, which gives you an output is equal to 1, which means A 0, B 1, C 0 and D 0 will give you 1. And similarly, A 0, B 1, C 0 and D 1 will give me a satisfiability of 1. So which means I'll get a output as 1. So how many combinations? It's 2 to the power of n. So I have 16 combinations over here. So since I have 2 to the power of n combination, 2 to our n, it's always it is a non-deterministic polynomial time complexity. So when I say polynomial time complexity, it's only n squared, log n log n. All these are polynomial time complexities, whereas 2 to the power of n is always non-deterministic polynomial time complexity. So for this reason, given a circuit and constructing a circuit based upon an expression, if you're going to construct a tree for this to determine the satisfiability, so satisfiability means to get an output of 1, then you're going to call this as an NP complete problem. Now, knowing that this is an NP complete problem, we have to find out a way to prove that this is NP complete, which means what? It has to be verified in a polynomial time complexity. So that is what is NP complete. So here you can check, it is NP complete means you have to verify it in polynomial time complexity. So that is the requirement. Now we'll move on. Now we'll move on to prove that this can be verified in polynomial time complexity. Now moving on to the next part. So we have seen what is circuit satisfiability. Given a circuit, it has to give an output of 1 is circuit satisfiability. This is done. Then what is satisfiability? Given any expression, if you get an output of 1, then that is called as satisfiability. That is also seen. Next, coming to what is 3CNF satisfiability. This is also once again very easy. When I say 3CNF, so first of all you have to recall what is conjunctive normal form. So conjunctive normal form is nothing but you'll have a bunch of disjunctive clauses together with and. Say for example, I can take an example here. So this is a bunch of disjunctive clause. Disjunctive means I have an or here. This is a bunch of disjunctive clause. So which means I have an or here. Here I don't call it as a disjunctive clause because no or is present, but this is a clause. So when I have multiple clauses with an and symbol in between, then it's called as conjunctive normal form. This is just to recall what is CNF. Now what is 3CNF? So the Boolean formula is satisfiable if some assignments of zeros and ones to the literals makes a formula evaluated to be true, which means I should have 3 different terms, 3 different clauses I can say, and it has to be it has to be brought together by means of an and symbol. Okay, so this is a disjunctive clause, this is a disjunctive clause, this is a disjunctive clause. So how many clauses do I have? I have 3 clauses, and it has to be brought together by means of an and symbol. So this implies 3CNF, right? Now satisfiability of Boolean formulas in 3CNF implies 3CNF and of clauses, each of which is the or of exactly 3 distinct literals. So here I have how many literals in this disjunctive form? I have 3 literals, 1, 2 and 3. And here how many literals I have? Literals means variables. So here I have 3 literals. Again here I have 3 literals. So each and every clause should have only 3 literals, and it should be disjunctive, which means there should be an or symbol here, and all the 3 clauses should be brought together by means of an and symbol. That's all. So this is what is 3CNF. And when do I say it is So when do I say it is a satisfiability problem? When the output of this 3CNF is equal to 1, then I am going to call it as a satisfiable 3CNF. Okay, now for example let us take, so here for the values of x1, x2, x3 and x4, that is x. So you can try all possible combinations, but x1 0, x2 0, x3 1, x4 1 will give you an output of this to be equal to 1. You can just cross check. Now starting from 0 0 0 0 to 1 1 1 1, you can try out all possible combinations, which is what 2 to the power of 4 combinations can be tried. So therefore 3CNF is an NP complete problem because it is the complexity is of the order of 2 to the power of n, and for the particular inputs, let's say for example here 0 0 1 1, the output of this is equal to 1, so I'm going to call this as a satisfiable output, right? So now this 3CNF is a satisfiable, 3CNF satisfiability is now called as a NP complete problem. Now we'll move on to proving that it is NP complete, which means what? There should exist an algorithm which verifies that the solution obtained is correct. And in what time should it verify? The verification should be done in a polynomial time. So then it means that it is a perfect NP complete problem. So we'll move on to the reduction of 3CNF into a clique problem. So we'll see how that is done. So before we move on to understanding the reduction part of 3CNF to clique problem, I'll first tell you what is a clique problem. Now, clique problem is nothing but given a graph. So you have a graph like this, and say for example, it should be a clique is a subgraph that is fully connected. That is, every pair in C has an edge. Say for example, I take this. Now 1, 2 and 3, I can say this is 3 cliques, right? And if I say 1 and 3, that is a clique with 2 vertices. 1 and 2 is a clique with 2 vertices. 2 and 3 is a clique with 2 vertices. 3 and 4 is a clique with 2 vertices. And when I say 3 cliques, it's a complete connected graph of 3 vertices. And say for example, if 2 and 4 was also connected, then I can say 1, 2, 4 and 1. So this would be a clique with 3 vertices. So this is what is a clique. So it's a subgraph that is fully connected. Every pair in C has an edge. Now coming to this, what is a maximum clique? If you ask me, the maximum clique is 1, 2, 3, k is equal to 3. That is the maximum I can join are only these 3 vertices. Though I can join these 2, I can say k is equal to 2 clique. It doesn't serve the purpose. So here I am going to take it as a 3 clique problem. Now coming to this particular graph. Now what is a maximum connected? Now I can see here the maximum connected graph, the clique size is k is equal to 5. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, this node 4 and 5. So these are the edges which are joined, the maximum cover of the graph. So the clique size is k is equal to 5, which connects 5 different vertices together to form a kind of a cycle. Now clique is NP, which means it is non-deterministically chooses a subset C of size k and checks that every pair in C has an edge in G. Now we are not here to prove that clique problem is an NP complete type of a problem, but our intention is to prove that 3CNF reduces to a clique problem. So okay, so what is the use of saying that it reduces to a clique problem? It means the complexity for the clique problem here, it is order of n to the power of k. What is k? K is nothing but the clique size. So when I say k is equal to 3 here, what would be the complexity of this graph? It's going to be order of n cube. When I say order of n cube, is the complexity polynomial or non-deterministic polynomial? It is definitely polynomial. So by reducing 2 to the power of n, the exponential complexity, to a complexity which is polynomial, then I can easily verify that the verification alone takes a polynomial time complexity. So that is the intention that we are moving with forward. Now how is that reduction going to take place? So first of all, we'll start with a 3CNF problem. Now what I'm going to do is, given a 3CNF problem, so here I have a 3CNF problem. Okay, so each clause here, as you can see, is disjunctive, and how many literals are there? You have 3 literals, so therefore it is called as a 3CNF problem. So the first step in the reduction of 3SAT to a clique is, you have to first of all take all the nodes, vertices given here, so x1, x1 and x2, and write it here, x1, x1, x2. Next you have x1 bar, x2 bar and x2 bar, so write it here in another place. And you have x1 bar, x2 and x2, so that has to be written here. Now the next step is, you have to draw the graphs between them. How do I draw the graph? Lines between them, the edges. It's very simple. So you just go through this. So you will not draw the edge between the nodes in the same triple, which means what? Between the nodes in the same triple. between x1 x1 or between x1 x2 or between x2 x1. Between the nodes in the same triple, you will not draw the edges. Next, between complementary nodes, you are not supposed to draw the edges, which means what? Now between the complementary nodes, you are not supposed to draw edges. That is, between x1 and x1 bar, no edge. Okay. Similarly, between x2 and x2 bar, you should not draw an edge. And between x2 and x2 bar here also, no edge. And between x1 bar here and x1 bar here, no edge. And x2 here and x2 bar, you cannot draw an edge. Then x2 and x2 bar here also you cannot draw an edge. So leaving these two rules alone, without drawing any edges between these two alone, all the other edges must be connected. That is how you first of all convert the given Boolean expression into a graph. After the graph is constructed, we have to now find out a clique between the clique of this graph. Now what does this represent? So here you can see that structures within the graphs are designed to mimic the behavior of the variables and the clauses. So this actually represents the 3CNF. So this graph represents 3CNF. That is the meaning of it. And I hope you have understood how to construct this graph. I repeat, between the complement of the each literal x1 and x1 bar, you're not supposed to draw an edge. And between the nodes in the same triples, you're not supposed to draw an edge. So with this, we'll move on to the next step, which is to form the maximum clique. Now what would be the maximum clique? Okay, so you have to select the K clique. So here, as you can see, here you can also form a 2 clique. Between x1 and x2 bar, you have a 2 clique. And say for example, you can also have a 3 clique between x2, x1 bar and x1 bar. So you have a triangle like this. So that is 3 clique, or you can also have a 4 clique. Say for example, no, you can only have maximum of 3 clique. That is, any edge you take, x1, x2 bar and x1 bar. So it goes like this. Yeah, x2, x1 bar and x2, you have maximum of 3 cliques. So k is equal to 3 here. So what is the maximum clique here? It is k is equal to 3. Now here you can see that all nodes selected from a k clique, since we choose one from each of the k triples. So each pair of selected node is joined by an edge because no pair fits one of the exceptions previously mentioned. What is that exceptions? It is the 2 exclusion rules that we have stated. Not from the same triple because only, and no conflicting labels because the associated literals were both true in the assignment. So therefore the graph contains k clique. So when I say k clique, it simply means that in the previous graph you have 3 cliques here. Okay, and we'll take another small example for the same reduction problem, that is to prove clique is NP complete. So we have an expression here. So here it is a 3CNF because you have three literals here, and the 3 literals, each clause here is disjunctive and it is combined together by means of an and symbol here. So now how do I construct x, y and z? I put it here, and the next clause not x, y and z, so I put it here. Then not x, not y and not z, I put it here. Then after I form this, I have to draw the edges. So between the same clause, I'm not supposed to draw edges, and between x and minus x, that is complementary literals, I'm not supposed to draw edges. So after constructing the graph, I form the maximum k clique, and I have to if you ask me whether this is satisfied, yes, for the input of 1, 0 and 1. I get the values of f is equal to 1. So this is a NP complete problem as well as CNF is satisfiability problem. Okay. Now how is this reduced to a kind of a clique problem? It is by means of saying that this graph has a clique, k clique, k is equal to 3 because 3 edges can be joined together. That is what is called as 3 clique. So CNF satisfiability is reduced to a click in polynomial time. So this reduction takes place only in order of the polynomial time. So given a CNF to formula f, we need to construct a graph G and a number k with the property that f is satisfiable. Why f is satisfiable? It should have an output of 1. If and only if it will have 1, the output as 1, satisfiable output, if and only if G has k click, right? If this doesn't have a solution, then none of the inputs will give you an output of 1. That is also true. That is again a theorem. So again I repeat, given a CNF formula f, we need to construct a graph G and a number k with the property that f is satisfiable, which means f should give you an output of 1 for some input. Okay, if and only if G has a k click. So if G doesn't have a k click, this problem itself is not satisfiable. So the construction must be efficient in polynomial time. So that is what is called as CNF satisfiability reduction. So where do you reduce to? You are reducing it to a click problem. So based on this, Cook and Levin, the two famous scientists, Stephen Cook and Leonid Levin, has given the Cook-Levin theorem. So it just states that to prove circuit sat is NP complete. So we have seen this, and that is to verify the correctness in polynomial time. So when I say to verify the correctness in polynomial time, so here again they say that Boolean satisfiability problem is NP complete, and any problem which is NP complete can be reduced in polynomial time by a deterministic Turing machine. So what is meant by a deterministic Turing machine? To a Turing machine, if you give an instance of the problem, then you get a proper output. That is what is a deterministic Turing machine. So here what can I say as an instance here? So here the instance is nothing but giving the values of x equal to 1, y is equal to 0 and z is equal to 1. So giving this instance, you get the value of f is equal to 1. Output is 1, which means it is satisfiable, if it is satisfiable, right? So that is what is given by the Cook's theorem. An important consequence of this theorem is that if there exists a deterministic polynomial time algorithm for solving the Boolean satisfiability, then every NP problem can be solved by a deterministic polynomial time algorithm. So basically we are reducing the circuit sat algorithm. So as mentioned earlier, we are reducing the circuit sat algorithm into a satisfiability algorithm. Then we move on to extend the satisfiability algorithm to the 3 CNF satisfiability algorithm, where we consider 3 CNF, the conjunctive normal form, with 3 literals in each clause. And once we prove that this 3 CNF satisfiability problem is NP complete, we are reducing that problem to a click problem by means of saying that the maximum value of the click k is equal to 3 for a 3 CNF satisfiability problem. So by means of proving that the click k value is 3, it is easily verified that it is also proved in the complexity of polynomial time complexity, that it is also proved that this 3 CNF SAT problem is reduced to a click problem. So this is what is given by the Cook and Levin's theorem as well. So I hope you have understood the crux of it.